Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show.
Sitting at home or you in your car. It's the MacMan Morning Show. No matter if you live far. It's the MacMan Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the MacMan Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the MacMan Morning Show.
It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show.
Sitting at home or you in your car. It's the MacMan Morning Show. No matter if you live far. It's the MacMan Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the MacMan Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the MacMan Morning Show.
It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show. It's the MacMan Morning Show.
Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday to all of you that are here. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I am James Mack. Yeah, I got a head cold, y'all. We are here and present and accounted for. I'd like to welcome all of you that are listening on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial and listening via and watching via on our broadcast on YouTube. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you that are in our chat. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody that was waiting for us to come on. And we are here. We don't know where we're going to be here. I'd like to say good morning to our chief correspondent. I said what I said, and to Brother Lee. We also like to say good morning to all of you that are here. On this greatest of days. We have a great day today, and we have a wonderful program for you. Once again, let me say this. Oh, excuse me. Please forgive me. We still have some brothers and sisters that are really upset about what happened, and rightfully so, about the results of the election. I've come to the decision and the point, and you see it in the chat, that our vote is not for free anymore. Where you going, James Mack? I thought you were a stalwart, whatever they say you are, independent, this and that, all these things that they're calling us, leading up to the forecast that we're going to have. We got a real good opportunity to make a statement and to stand on principles as a people. I will be the one, and I'll say it. Oh, excuse me, Lord have mercy. I'll say it. The Democratic Party has pimped us. We have become their prostitute, and might I say a good one. Not all Democrats, no. The system thereof. Whether you are who you are, what you are, you got a right to vote for who you want to, but you ought to vote for people that have your interests at heart. I've found out and I've come to the realization in this region that the Democratic Party made a mistake so big, excuse me, they made a mistake so big and so large that it's going to take decades, I think, to solve it because of the Trump effect. First time he's saying his name, that person's effect, the Orange Agent Orange. I'm going to call it like I see it. He's got the power. He's got his folks already. DC will not be the same. The Capitol, the White House, none of that is going to be the same because this person already told everybody what he was going to do. Are we going to go back over it? Maybe not. We're going to pull some points out. We will. But my point is making is this: please don't give up hope. Say, James, you sound like the preacher on Sunday morning. Well, I'm just going to tell you that we as voters of African descent, put it that way, stand by a second, folks, of African descent, excuse me, people that are of African descent, we have gotten the shaft every time we look around. We pull people out. We help get rights for other people. We march in solidarity with other cultures. We try to even blend in with other cultures. Nothing wrong with it. I got brothers and sisters of all persuasions, black, white, all kinds of persuasion. I'm not talking about race, folks. I'm talking about a position that a voting bloc should be in and get their demands answered. Hispanics do it. They form together, they get together, la la la, Palooza and all these other things, and they made their mark and they stick together and they get what they want. That's why they voted for the orange man. Asians, Middle Easterners, all these different people that come here and get businesses and loans and all of these benefits. I'm not trying to sound like Trump. I'm just going to just tell it like it is. We ain't getting nothing. We worked. Our parents have worked. Good work, hard work. Work hard, you get somewhere. Not knocking that. I ain't knocking hard work or anything. Or work that will progress in you getting the benefit that you need. But I got a problem with people always saying, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do this, do that, do this. And they always giving us instructions, even on how to vote. Yes, some of those same people that even look like me. Vote for this one, vote for that one, do this, do that. Look at Jackson, Mississippi right now. And then, you know something, we fall for the okie doke all the time. Jackson, Mississippi is in turmoil right now because its mayor, its district attorney, and two of its council members thought that getting a shopping spree, cash, and all these things would benefit them 50, 100,000, whatever it was. Is it worth it for you to ruin the reputation of people that are trying to fight their way through a racist society? I'm not talking about you if you're racist. If you're not a racist, don't worry about it. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about white folks or anything like that. I'm talking about racists on both sides. See, they needed some help to do and implement what they implement. They just gave us the okie doke. Having us to believe that this woman was going to win, gave us the biggest party, that we ever had, the greatest convention that I ever saw. And here we are today with our hands in our head. I refuse to let these jokers let me mourn for something that they did. They took advantage of us, and they have been taking advantage of us. Democrat and Republican Party has been taking advantage of us, and we sat back and let these jokers do it. Give me a little time, Lee. Hold on a second. I gotta block you. I mean, not block. I gotta silence you for a second. I'm almost there. It ain't nothing but 11 minutes, but it's the James Mack Morning Show on WKRA 92.7. FM. Let me remind you of something. I am going to continue to sound the alarm until they say otherwise or we can't or whatever. Don't get scared now. Don't let us duck now. Because if we take the pressure off of them, if we don't decide right now that our vote counts, where are we going to go? Who's going to get it? We got a voting block, folks, whether it's Republican or Democrat. Get with the one that's going to help the agenda. I'm talking to all of you handkerchief head, all you crooked Democrats, black and white, you're taking advantage of us. We'll get them. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I just want to say good morning to our panel. I want to put this out right quick because, you know, people get all offended and they think that you feel this way when injustice has happened to a society and it has destroyed communities. We need to be outraged, not about the election return. They did the slick move. Never has it happened. Let me pull this down. Yes, everything is alleged, but then I'm going to put this thing here because it's blocking my stuff. Yeah, y'all know the copyright and so forth. To my white, non-racist friends, I love y'all. Don't get it twisted. Me loving and protecting my race does not mean I hate or fault you. We know exactly who our enemies are. They are no longer hidden. Thank you for standing for us. Thank you for standing. Thank you for taking the covers off of folk. Thank you for allowing us to see the light. I see the light. I don't care what nobody say. Now y'all can sit around there and now we ain't gonna get messy, Penelope. Just be nice. I ain't gonna be nice. You know the Mac man ain't gonna be all out of shape. I'm gonna be nice. But I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna bring my panel. They got something to say. And we're going to take the Mac Man Morning Show and we're going to sound the alarm. I had a potential client call me today. Excuse me for sniffling. Had a potential client to call me yesterday, not today, yesterday, and said, Mac man, I want to advertise on your show. I said, people are saying that we're this, we're that, we're that. I don't care what people say. I am a very formidable and a very efficient uh, journalist. I do what I do. I get my research. We have a wonderful team. Don't take this personal. We have come to the realization in 2024 that the Caucasian persuasion, Democrat and Republican, Independent and Green Party, all those, y'all don't think that we're nothing. That's why you don't want us to know about our vote. And people of color, I'm including you, Latinos, my Latino brothers and sisters. I'm including you too, Asian brothers and sisters, because he said, I'm going to deport. Let me start with the Haitians first. Get the black people out first. I got to get the folks that was eating the dogs and the cats. I got to get them out of here first. Then we'll work on the others. But y'all leaving here because y'all taking up space and y'all, it's too many of y'all. We looking at you. Not saying what's going to happen. I like to be at the dinner table on Thanksgiving at some of these places where people have mixed relatives, grandchildren, and their husbands and wives are different colors of persuasion. What y'all gonna say at the dinner table because y'all said, I don't care who he is. He could go attack his mama. He can go and shoot everybody. I don't care what he do. We don't want that black woman in office and running the White House. We don't need her. And some black men said the same thing, and black women said, I don't want that heifer in there. You know how we are. We get her in there and she'll do this and she'll do that. We slapped our own selves in the face. The numbers say it. I'm gonna say it. All right, this is the Mac Man Morning Show. I'm James Mack. I am your host. I hope that you woke by now because I've hollered and said what I had to say, and I stand on what I say. You ain't heard nothing yet. We got our panel here. I know they waiting. They said, "Man, this man is gone crazy." Brother Lee is here, our chief contributor, and I said what I said. Our chief correspondent of this, the Mac Man Morning Show. Say good morning, y'all. They act like I'm hiding y'all or I'm doing something. I've been in the laboratory cooking up something and all these other things. But I got something to say, and I want to see what y'all think about this because I'm about tired of these people pimping and put me on the street. They get, excuse me, uh, they got the benefit. Vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. No. What have you done for me lately? I wish I could get that song. I try to holler it. But y'all quiet in the chat. Y'all said James Mack done went crazy. Go ahead. Say good morning. I said what I said, and Brother Lee. Y'all good morning. Good morning to
Grand Rising, James, and hello to
y'all.
everybody that's
Well, Grand
listening.
Rising. Let me correct this. Grand Rising to all. It is a Grand Rising because we gonna make it. We're going to make it. Real people that are going to stand up. I said what I said and stand up and get their stuff together. Get yourself together. Everybody get yourself together. Get yourself together. Get your family together. Get your household together. Ain't no more food stamps. Ain't going to be none. Section 8, all of those things are going to be gone. I think that this is a blessing in disguise. Help me out, Brother Lee. And I said what I said. I said what I said. I greeted you first. Go ahead and say what you're going to say, and we'll go into our first commercial break at 20 past. Go ahead, though.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, James. The Democrat Party have left us behind, and they have used and abused us. And they get what they want. They get in office, and then they get powerful, and they let the lobbyists persuade them and pay them, and that's who they vote for. That's who they vote for. They vote in the lobbyist interests and not our interests. So we're gonna have to start demanding what we want, or they can't have our vote. Lee, you can take it from there.
Brother Lee, I want you to say good morning. I got a
Well, I
video
like to
I'm going to.
say,
Wait, Brother
uh,
Lee. Hold on one second. Wait, 1 second. I'm going to. I want you to say good morning and everything. All of
go
the
go to
greetings.
your.
Say wait. Let me tell you how this is gonna happen. I don't want you to go nowhere. I know I got you, Lee. I want to let you say good morning to everybody, and then we'll go to break. Say good morning, hello, and all those other things.
Great day, everybody. You go to break now.
Okay, this is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, the Mac Man Morning Show. Y'all didn't expect this. Y'all thought we were gonna be crying and ordering flowers and going to the funeral. I ain't going no more funerals. I ain't going to no more wakes. I ain't trying. I'm gonna live. You gonna live? We ain't selling our vote no more. How about you? You want to get with us? We gonna talk about it today. And I think that as media, we will talk about it. Look, folks. Things is about to change after the 20th of January, and you're gonna be saying, Mac man, what are we gonna do about this? I'm gonna put it in your ear in a little bit. Brother Lee gonna come back, and I said what I said. We about to tackle this. And for real, I am gonna go an extra half hour today just to see where we are. Tell your friends. We got 15 people right now that are watching. Like, subscribe. Secondly, thing I want you to do, tell your folks, tune in. You ain't heard nothing like this. We're not radicals. We're not, how could I put it? Conspiracy theories talking about the Martians is coming and the great this and that and the other. There's one thing that's getting ready to happen, and we don't know when it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you this, and I stand on this as we get ready to go to our first break. As long as God is on the throne, we're going to be all right. Let me read you this what somebody sent me. It says, "Be confident of this very thing, that which has begun, he that has begun a good work in you will perform it." He's going to perform it unto Jesus Christ. He's going to perform it. Now, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there. Faith without works is dead. You can't use the Lord in this and you sitting back trying to wait for you something from Donald Trump or from Kamala Harris or anybody else. We need to start doing something for ourselves. This is the Mac Man Morning Show, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting your bunny on with Mac Man Morning Show very own Mr. Lee.
Well, when I was a kid, Mama looked at you before you got in the stove. She looked, I don't want no You don't put your hands on. You don't ask for shit. We ain't eating we wait till we get home. But kids now, it's like, look, you know what you do in school, you know? He got a note saying that he's allergic to peanut butter, he's allergic to jelly, he's allergic to bread, he got gluten free, he can't eat this, he can't eat that, and then he got a note saying he got DDT, ADT, or regular, or whatever. He can just stand on tables, he can do whatever he want to do. What kind of is that?
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Rooseville, Mississippi. Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stennis. It was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens. We was met in Indianola by policemen, highway patrolmen, and they only allowed 2 of us in to take the literacy test at the time. After we had taken this test and started back to Rooseville, we was held up by the city police and the state highway patrolmen and carried back to Indianola, where the bus driver was charged that day with driving a bus the wrong color. After we paid the fine among us, we continued on to Rooseville, and Reverend Jeff Sonny carried me 4 miles in the rural area where I had worked as a timekeeper and sharecropper for 18 years. I was met there by my children that told me the plantation owner was angry because I had gone down, tried to register. After they told me, my husband came and said the plantation owner was raising Cain because I had tried to register. And before he quit talking, the plantation owner came and said, Fannie Lou, do you know, did Pap tell you what I said? And I said, yes, sir. He said, well, I mean that if you don't go down and withdraw your registration, you will have to leave. Said then if you go down and withdraw, that you still might have to go because we are not ready for that in Mississippi. And I addressed him and told him that I didn't try to register for you. I tried to register for myself. I had to leave that same night. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Thank you.
You're listening to the MacMan Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. You're also watching our wonderful show each and every day on YouTube, our live broadcast. We're getting ready. You know something? Somebody asked me, James Mack, when you going back on? When you going on camera? We like to see you. I am going on camera starting January. After January, I'm gonna be on. So that means I gotta hook myself up and let y'all look at me. I don't want y'all to be turning off the television and scan your children and grandchildren looking at my bearded face. But we're going to do something about that. Why did you play Fannie Lou Hamer today, James Mack? Good question. Thank you for asking me. This woman, this stalwart, this woman that of peace, love, and equality, stuck her neck out on the line for men and women that couldn't do it for themselves. Keep that in your, just put a pin there. That's what the MacMan Morning Show is going to do. Mrs. Hamer, being the timekeeper, making sure that everybody had the right time and made sure that everybody was paid. Miss Fannie Lou Hamer was the person that made sure that your money was right. Fannie Lou Hamer. She sacrificed and went down to the courthouse on that day, according to the audio tape, and she went down there and they tried to register. It got back to the plantation owner, who a plantation owner is like a mini mayor. He owns the property. You go there and you work the property. He'll give you credit to help you get through the winter, but he's supposed to split the profits with you. You end up owing more to the sharecropper than you end up getting and receiving for your. Look, all this stuff that we went through as black people, and you got the nerve to say, why are you and why are people like us? I'm talking about everybody of freedom loving surroundings. Why are we upset? I'm upset because I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray, as Tiffany Henyard would say. I'm gonna take her words. I know she a crook too, but with that's a for a later program, because the things that are going on, not only they can't implement and do the things that they do to us, Brother Lee and Sister I said what I said, unless we give them permission to do so. Good morning to you. I'd like to hear what you got to say on the MacMan's rant this morning. I can rant all I want to. This is MacMan Morning Show with all decent and due respect to our wonderful station, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Miss Archery, I know you're saying this man done gone crazy, but I said what I said. Am I in the wrong direction? Help me out, Brother Lee. You were coming up next. Brother Lee, Man, I ain't been dismayed. I'm just full of fire and ready to roll. Talk to me. Help me out here on this great day.
Great day, everybody. I see someone made a comment about where the good morning come from. I'll send you that information. It actually was said to a slave at that first time that he had unalived one of his other slaves, and he told him, "Have a good morning." And he say, when they say morning, I don't mean sun coming up. That means have a good sorrow, have a good discernment, have a good wake. It was about the death. Have a good morning. And we took that as a saying, and then it passed on, and then it came like it's something positive, but definitely it's something negative. It came out of slavery. It's a lot of those sayings come out of slavery that it loses its originality. But the thing is, I'll thank Brother James Mack for letting me come on. He almost sucked all the air out the room. I got enough to breathe, but he almost sucked it all out. But thank you for leaving me
I didn't
some.
mean, I didn't mean it, Lee. I ain't mean it. I said what I
It's
said.
quite
You
all
ain't
right.
been on it either. Now,
It's
well, I
quite
want to
all
make
right,
sure
my brother. I
they
got
say
enough
you
air
rolling
to
over the.
I
Go
got
ahead.
enough air to breathe. But I just want to tell you, I want to tell everyone out there that listen, it's not over. Yeah, we are talking about the Democrats and what they've done or what they didn't do. But don't mistake this for the Republicans are doing something right. Don't mistake this for we going over to that side. Don't mistake this for we giving up. You know, it may seem like we're recognizing what's been done and we are in mourning. It feels like somebody died. And this is what a death feels like, an unalivement feels like. And you just can't get your bearings right. It's like somebody knocked you to the floor. They didn't knock you out, but they knocked you down. And you got to understand that as many times as we've been knocked down, we're going to have to get back up. We from a long line of people that have always gotten off that floor. So we have never been knocked out, but we definitely have been knocked down so many times. And this is not the time to just throw your hands up and say, I give up. No, we never surrender. We always been punished and knocked down and dragged. And to talk about the the sharecroppers and put them in an analogy of being a mayor. Actually, they far from a mayor. They was a slave master. If you look at it closer, they made sure that the black folks that was working those farms, they had food to eat, but they never had enough to buy clothes. They had food to eat, but they never had enough to send their kids to school. They had food to eat, just like a slave, not enough to eat, but just enough to farm that land. And they were slaves. Those Caucasian slave owners figured out another way how to turn those free black people into slaves again. Just like the incarceration of us black folks in these prisons. That's another way of slavery. And they keep opening them doors and throwing us in. And if we don't stand up for those brothers in there that's been thrown in there illegally, unjustly, we next. Because they're going to throw your son in there. They're going to throw your father in there. They're going to throw your uncles in there. And they're going to throw some sisters in there too. So we got to fight all the fronts that we're facing. And we got the heart to do it. And don't mistake this for us giving up. Yes, we are giving our vote. We gave our vote And we got this time, we got nothing for it. Yes, some of our brothers sold us out. Some of our brothers sold us out. And you say, why did they sell us out? Because of the hate they had for the sisters. They sold out their own self interest because they hate a sister. They hate the fact that sisters was rising. The sisters was proud that another sister was making. Our pride, and they jealous. And I'm a brother myself. I'm gonna tell you something. And I got sons, and I got daughters, and I got aunts and uncles, and I got them all. But I'm gonna tell you something. These brothers, I'm ashamed of them. I'm ashamed that they let they hate for they jealousy, the fact that they can't, and they to go over to somebody that's a racist, like they say they don't know what color Kamala Harris is, but you know what color Donald Trump is, and you still vote for him. You know what kind of person he is, but you still your no vote was a yes vote for him. And they say he said he loved the ignorant and uneducated. You brothers are a lot of you brothers are educated. It's an educated fool that votes against his own interests. Now we're gonna have to get off the map. And God has blessed us. It feels like not a blessing, but believe me, He has woke us up before we get wiped out. He has woke us up before we can save our kids, save our grandkids, save our great grandkids. It's woke us up. This is a wake up call. Yes, we don't watch the news no more. We don't watch social media no more. Not like we used to. We don't. We so into our what ourselves about this situation that we don't want to hear no news. And I understand. I'm one of them. I don't watch the news. You know, the last time I watched the news, they say Kamala Harris had this thing in the bag. Woke up, woke up several times, and I couldn't believe my eyes and went back to sleep. I thought I was dreaming. And the thing is, it happened, and now we must move on. It's how we move on. You know what? Like Brother James said, our vote is not for free anymore. You're gonna have to come to us, and you're gonna have to. We've been giving our vote for free. We've been. You know why they don't respect us? Because they counted us before they counted us. We was already counted before the election even started. We was counted before they even started to run for office. That's the reason our neighborhood looks the way they do. That's the why they treat us the way they do. Because they count us before they even counted us. We've been counted out. We've been set aside. We've been taken for granted. And we have to realize that we're gonna have to stand up and we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to stick closer together. We're gonna have to respect each other. Don't respect a person just because of the dollars that they make. Respect them because they're a human being. And that's the thing. We're going to say great day when we see a brother or sister. If somebody needs your help, if a brother or sister needs your help, if a kid needs you, we have to go to these schools. We're going to have to make sure these kids are getting what they need. If they not giving it to them, we got to reach in our pocket and get it. We got to give them the food that they need. We have to make sure they get the education that they need. We got to make sure they know the history about ourselves. We don't even know it ourselves. We got to learn our history and stop being fed our history. That's the thing I got to say.
This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, MacMan Morning Show. We are talking about it. We're bringing it up. We're going to do what we have to do. Let me tell you something. You can be hoodwinked for so long. You can be drugged through the alley for so long, and it numbs you. You're used to it. I'm not used to an ass whooping. I'm not used to it. I did what was right. I made sure that I'm sorry for saying that word. I'm sorry for that, WKRA and everybody else. You know, I don't be doing all of that, but I'm tired of this foolishness and I'm tired of this craziness and giving my vote, giving my support, going out there, knocking on the doors, doing all this for people that don't care about us. I said what I said. Grab hold to this, and I'm going to go to a video after you speak. Go ahead, man.
Well, I want to say something about the news because I do watch the news, and I've watched how biased the news has been. I watched how the news just hid everything that Trump intended to do to the country. I watched as the news media crucified the Democrats. They crucified Kamala. They crucified Joe Biden for just being old. But at the same time, they lifted Donald Trump up because they were afraid. They were afraid that he was going to win. And once he win, they're afraid of not making money. Well, I got some news for everybody. Nobody is going to make any money in this economy. I watched the news this morning. They're already on TV bragging, happy, telling us exactly what they're going to do. The guy that's supposed to be the attorney general made a threat to Letitia James and called her a fat ass, said he was going to put her fat butt in jail if she tried to continue to prosecute Trump because he's innocent and they're tired of all of this. And he said that everybody needs to everybody going to F around and find out. And they got an enemy list. He said he had a list, and he's still counting and still putting people on the list. So this is going to be retaliation against anybody that said anything against this guy. And the people that he's going to put in charge is scary. And like James say, America is getting ready to change, and America is going to F around and find out what they put in office. Like James said, you didn't want to put the sister in office, and Lee also, because you're scared of her power. You people were upset because she was the attorney general of California. And so, you know, a lot of black people, well, she put us in jail. She put us in jail. No, you put yourself in jail, because if you're not in their view, then they can't put you in jail. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about going up there. And I tell my nephews and I tell my family all the time, do what you're supposed to do, follow the law, and the law won't follow you. And just because she was doing a job, you want to crucify her for that. Her job is like any other job in America. When you go to your job, they tell you what they want you to do. They train you how they want you to do the job, and you're supposed to execute the training. And so why are you persecuting this lady for doing her job? And America just wasn't ready for a woman, and it definitely wasn't ready for a black woman. And that's the reason why she didn't get elected. And I'm not so sure, and this is just my opinion, not WKRA 92.7, James Mack or Lee. I feel like I feel like the election was rigged. Um, Previous elections, they had to count the vote. Some of the states can't even start counting the vote until the day of the election, as far as the mail-in vote. I heard nothing about the overseas votes. I've heard nothing about that. And they're trying to claim the House, and all of those votes haven't been counted. California said their votes won't be counted for 2 more weeks. So I feel like that this was, like Lee said, it was already counted, and not as many people even voted for this guy to win the popular election. So I just feel like the election just wasn't all the way clean. They kept harping on a fair and clean election, but I believe this, and we're going to find out later on, that the election probably wasn't as clean as we thought it was. And so,
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I also advise everybody, whatever you want to purchase, you better purchase it before January the 20th, because after the 20th of January, you're not going to be able to buy anything. So anything that you want to buy, you better run to the store and hurry up. And these corporations are already doing it. They're buying stuff up for a whole year because they know what's to come. Now, all of a sudden, these corporations are speaking out, Analysts are speaking out. Everybody is speaking out about the economy when you didn't speak out before he was elected. So I really don't want to hear about what's going to happen. Just let it all happen and let the chips fall where they may. And you guys got what you asked for.
This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. Yes, we are here. Let me say something right quick before we go into our second break. And we're going to extend just a little bit if WKRA can give us a little grace, which I believe they probably will. Let me say this. This election has shown us that our vote is valuable. Yes, it is. It's so valuable that they've been using us for decades to get their platform over. Bernie Sanders said something, and I'm going to get it, but I'll just quote and say, Bernie Sanders said, we giving the Democratic Party and the Republican Party our heart, our mind, our soul. We do any and everything for them. I'm not even going to go there. I want to play this, and it's going to play out, and we're going to go to our last, well, not our last, we're going to go to another break at 50 past the hour, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Let's look at this, and we're going to talk about this on the other side. I think this is what I said was talking about.
The Democratic Party is known for favoring a larger federal government as well as liberal social policies. However, this was not always the case. In 1792, when founding fathers Thomas Jefferson and James Madison formed the Democratic-Republican Party, which will later become the Democratic Party, they want the federal government to have a smaller role and more people involved in the democratic process, not just the elite. In 1829, President Andrew Jackson expands on those ideals. He wants an even smaller federal government and champions enlarging the electorate to all white men from just landowners. African American men do not gain the right to vote until 1870, and women gain the right to vote in 1920. The Democratic Party splits geographically in 1860 in the lead up to the Civil War. Northern Democrats and Southern Democrats disagree over the issue of slavery and preserving the Union. When the South loses the Civil War in 1865, the Democratic Party loses its national prominence for several generations, while the Republican Party of Abraham Lincoln dominates the political landscape. By 1912, when the first Southern Democrat is elected president since the end of the Civil War, the party has become more progressive. President Woodrow Wilson champions the woman's vote, which is ratified in 1920. It isn't until the Great Depression when Democrats regain their political dominance, led by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who expands the role of the federal government. Many African American voters switched to the Democratic Party because of Roosevelt's policies. In the mid-1960s, Lyndon Johnson passes civil rights legislation as well as more government social programs. In recent decades, Democrats and Republicans have traded control over the presidency. The most recent Democratic president, Barack Obama, is the first African American president, and he expanded the government's role in healthcare.
All right, we thank Vox Bio for this wonderful presentation that they gave to us. I was alerted that it was the wrong one, but that's just one that I wanted to start off with because of the simple fact of the matter. The Democratic Party has taken for granted, and maybe we're woke up now to the fact that the Democratic Party is out for themselves. They use all kind of, I'm talking about our folks. Let me tell you what happened. I have never seen, I've been here in this region since 2001. I have never seen in a national election where there was no active canvassing, there was no active politicking, meaning people doing visibility. There was no signs at these polling places other than on the day of election. Now you got a certain length of time that you can put your stuff out. Nobody put nothing out. The Republicans was quiet. Everybody was quiet. And I felt unsettling because of the simple fact of the matter, it did not go the way that it usually goes. That man said, Agent Orange said, he said, wait till after the election. We really gonna roll. They already knew that this man was going to be president. It was already in the making. They already got it thought out. They've already discussed the details. Excuse me. They've already discovered it. They've already said what they had to say. And let me explain this to you right now, folks. Yes, Alice, you said it right. When he takes office on January 20th, Biden goes home, Kamala Harris goes home, meaning to her home state or wherever she's going to do, or what have you, and it's going to be a free-for-all in Washington on January 20th. Are we supposed to be doom and gloom? No, we supposed to get our stuff together. We have an opportunity, folks, to look at what we've been doing for years, ever since I've been voting, since 1981. And we got a choice to make, Black America, African Americans, Latino Americans, those that align with us. Everybody ain't with us. There's some Cuban folks that said, we want Trump anyway. And every nationality that comes over here to this country to start anew, you know what they do? They consider themselves Caucasian. Why do I say that? Let's go to the Arab store not too far away from me. I go in there every day, every other day, and I check them out and things like that. The disrespect, the misogynistic ways that they do things, and how they treat our people are horrific. If you wasn't making any money, why would you be in the hood, as they say? If you wasn't making any money and crime is so bad for businesses, why did you put your business right smack dab in the middle of my neighborhood? Entrepreneurs everywhere, we better do what they're doing, because if we don't do what they're doing, and what am I saying by we're and there? I'm talking about the people that have come here and got the American dream, and we've been left out of it. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, any other thing that comes up always excludes us but ask us for our vote. Is it time for a new party? Is it time for us to just, how can I put it? Is it time for us to make a decision? You want the black vote? You got to give us what we want to. We want to be like everybody else. Get smart, folks. Advocate for what you're doing. Advocate for the things that you're asking for. This is the McMahon Morning Show. I'm going to go to my second break, and we'll be back with our panel extended version. I'm going all the way. Extended version of the McMahon Morning Show. We're going to do what we have to do. I was going to call somebody, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to see what's going to happen. You're listening to the McMahon Morning Show. I'll be right back with our panel. We're going to go full throttle with this. Get ready, because you need to hear this. This is the McMahon Morning Show.
Tune in to the McMahon Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the McMahon Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. spots ain't right and your twist is on lip, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president.
Attention WKRA listeners, if you would like to advertise on the MacMan Morning Show, please leave a message at macmedia3@gmail.com.
And we're back on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I am James Mack, your host. I'm here with our panel of, I'll say this, they got a lot to say. Our chief contributor, Mr. Lee, and our chief correspondent for the MacMan Morning Show and Mac Media Productions, I said what I said. I'm going to throw a question. Now, I ain't going to do that. I want you to be able to express yourselves. We're at a crossroads. We're at a point in history where we need to either, we got to do what we got to do. What are our solutions? I had a conversation with both of our contributors and our chief correspondent. Give it to us like you're supposed to give it to us. Give it to us to a point where I want to ask this question that Penelope asked, and I agree with you on this. If we could do this, wait a minute, let me find this. Boom. We need a new party. Do we need a new party, or do we need to cuff our votes and ask folks that want our vote, what are you going to do for us, Brother Lee?
Okay. And that's a good question. I would like to say from Penelope, Miss Penelope. Do we start a new party? That's a good question. I would say move to the center. I wouldn't call it center. Move to an independent party. Create don't make our vote committed to anyone at any time unless they come into us and they want to meet our platform. Example, Robert Kennedy Jr. He had 6% allegedly of the vote, and he parlayed that into a cabinet position. And he first went to the Democrats and asked them did they want that 6%? They said no. And so he took it to Donald Trump. He said yes. He said you can have anything you want. Pick your cabinet position. He picked it. He picked the Department of Health, and he got that position. And the thing is that we have to stay in the solution, not the problem. We've been talking about the problem and how it happened and who kicked us in the butt and why and all of this. And okay, we can't do anything about what happened, but we can't turn back the hands of time, I'll say. But yes, we can do something about it. Yes, stay in the solution, not the problem. And that's the situation here. Yes, should we get out of this party? Yeah, it hadn't been working for us. It's time to remove ourselves and stay independent. And I guarantee you we'll get more if we stop committing to something before we know what it is. We've been committing to it before we know what the outcome will be. Yes, they promised us better schools. Okay, look at your community. Have the schools changed? They actually gotten worse. They promised us jobs. Have you gotten more jobs? You know what? We get jobs when they get jobs. We get what's left. So yeah, you say, well, more of us are educated. Some of us go, more of us been to college, but that collegiate education, most of the jobs that you are working in had nothing to do with your studies in college. Yes, you have a new outlook and it opens your mind when you're in college, but it costs you almost $100,000 or more. What could you have done with that $100,000 if you had a mindset toward how to manage money, how to manage your funds? You could have gotten that money from a bank and started your own business in your community. You could go to a vocational school, go for a year, and make more than you could in a 6, 4, 5 year college. And yes, a collegiate education, I don't knock it. My daughters have been there, they got master's degrees. Yes, they do. But the thing is, they're not studying, they're not working in the degree that they've actually studied in. And the thing is, we have to stay with the solution, not the problem. And then we get back to this other ethnic groups they claim to be. I'm gonna tell you something. Let me give you an example. You ask a Caucasian person, where did they come from? Where did your grandparents come from? What what ethnicity, if any, are you, or what kind of country did you come from? They say, well, I'm from Ireland. My family's from Ireland, but I got a bit of German in me. I got a bit of Polish in me. And you know what? You can ask any race other than us. Well, what are you? I'm Asian. I'm Native American. Or you could ask a Mexican. What are you? Well, I'm Mexican. I might have a little Spanish in me or a little German in me. But I'm gonna tell you something. They're telling you something when they say that. I want to be anything but black. You never hear an ethnic person or a Caucasian say, I'm 2% black. No, I'm 2% Polish. I'm 2% Irish. No, you stop someone on the street. Ask a friend that's Caucasian. He'll never say, I'm 2%, I'm anything black. No one, they want to be anything but us. But they hate us because they know our potential. They see it in us. And they you know what? They hate us so much they want to be us. But they can't be us because we're still here. They like our music. They like our culture. They like everything about us, but they make us hate ourselves because they treat us so bad. They treat us like garbage, and then we go back and we vote for them. You know what? They won't let us in office, but they'll let you vote for them. And if we don't stop this nonsense of respecting somebody who do not give you respect, and we got to start not allowing bad behavior. Here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you this: your pastors, your preachers will say the man should lead, and I'm a man. But I'm going to tell you something. If he's a fool, he shouldn't be leading you. You know, your preacher will tell you the man should lead the home. If he a fool, he shouldn't be leading you. You know, and I'm not proud of these black men out here and these preachers out here that want a man to lead you, and you see he's a fool. Sisters, you got to stand up, and brothers, you got to stand up and recognize that sister is your right hand. And I've never seen, again, I'll say you got to let that right hand help the left hand, because we're going to be lost without it. And sisters, when you see something in church, and brothers, you see something in church that the pastor's preaching, and I'm going to give you another example, and I'm going to turn it over to Sister Said. You know how the preacher runs a con on you. You know how? When he don't see it in the New Testament, he go back to the Old Testament. He go back to the New Testament, supposed to cancel out the Old Testament. They go back to the Old Testament where you could kill, you could do anything you possibly can think of. It's in the Old Testament. But people keep referring to that before Jesus came. And then Jesus come, and then he say, I don't like what Jesus is saying. Let's go back to the Old Testament. And see, you're so confused because he will confuse you. Your pastor will confuse you. And that's what I'm saying. We got to think for ourselves, because he wanted this to happen. He didn't want Kamala Harris in office. He don't want a woman to lead in any way, a black woman. And the thing is, we need to take our vote and we need to keep it to ourselves until we get what we want. And we need to go into our communities, and we need to see about our schools and see about our kids. And we need to pay close attention to our kids than we do our looks and our everything. That we need to put our energy into them. We can have a good time, but at the same time, we can look after our future, which is our kids, because Donald Trump said he's going to eliminate education, the educational department. So if you don't understand that, he's going to cut the knees, the legs right from under us. And so we're going to have to take care of ourselves now. We're not in our own bubble anymore. Well, you say, look, you look after you, I look after me. They coming for all of us. They coming for every last one of us. Your money won't protect you. Your status won't protect you. If we do not get back together like we was before, we're going to be done. So let's wake up. This is a wake-up call from our almighty God. He's woke us up. Now, what you going to do with that call? Stay in the solution, not the problem. What you going to do with this wake-up call? We're going to have to come together. And I mean it, starting today. Speak to each other. Start it off with a hello. Sisters, start speaking to the brothers. Brothers, start speaking to the sisters. When you see a kid do something, open your mouth. I know we may take a chance, but open your mouth and say something. When you see these kids on these cell phones at 3 and 4 years old, tap the mama and say, do you really have to do that? Fathers, do the same thing. Be a father. Lead. If you're going to be a man, lead. If you're not, just fall to the side. That's what I have to say.
You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning to everybody. I am your host, James Mack. Listen, let me tell you something. Brother Lee just said it, and he said it poetically. We have to change the way that we're doing things. We got to change the way that we've been mistreated and misused and abused. There are and will be forever African American black people here in this country. Let's get that straight right now. Second thing is this: we didn't ask to be here. That's number one. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to be your servants. We didn't ask to be all of these things, but we were brought here. Number two, because we were brought here dealing with all the things that we're dealing with and have to go and jump through all of these hoops that they set up for us, we still made it. What I want to say to the audience is this: don't give up hope. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm not going to say that because y'all say that's one of the politicians. Stop thinking. Let's stop this right now. That a politician can help you or save you, because the person that's in office, the person that's there doing what they do, the person that causes the trouble, the person that is ripping us off, are right there in front of our faces, and we do nothing. People of America, nope, let me scratch that. African American people, people of color and prestige. Let me tell y'all something. We are thought of as less than people. They told us what they're getting ready to do. If we don't get on our job as far as what we believe, who we're going to give our votes to, all of those things, if we don't get ourselves together, we'll still be back here the next 4 years, broke, busted, and disgusted. And I'm not going for that. The power is in the vote. We know that. They know that. They did everything that they could to keep us, one, from voting, two, from supporting our candidate, and three, they came at the last minute and just blew us out of the water. I'm going to say this: I am an independent. That means that there are Republicans and Democrats, or whatever the case may be. As long as you for the people, you got my vote. As long as you trying to do the right things, you got my vote. If you're trying to keep us at a point where we can survive and make, I'm for you. But now on the reverse end, I'm not for you if you think that you can take us down through there and make us your servants. We're not going to do those types of things. We're not going to have those to happen. Let me say this to all of the fear and the anxiety that we're having, and I'm going to bring Brother Lee back. And excuse me. Uh, when the results were given and when things were presented to us, and the shock and the awe of all that was going on, here we are. And I thought to myself, and I talked to several people, and I was just giving my opinion on things, and everybody's hollering that they want a new party. They need a new way of channeling their disappointment with what happened. We're going to play this video. We're going to come back on the other side. We're going to discuss this as we wind down with the McMahon Morning Show. I'm going to watch this, and if we need more time, we do have it. But let's look at this.
God's timing is perfect, and you are right where you need to be.
I didn't want to play that one. Wait a minute. Hold on.
We
There we
have
go.
a corrupt political system in which money, big money, buys elections. Billionaires right now, through super PACs, can spend as much money as they want, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, to elect the candidates who they want, who represent their interests. And when you have a corrupt political system, and I'll give you, going back to the drug companies, do you know how many paid lobbyists they have in Washington, D.C.? They got 1,700. Can you imagine? Former leaders of the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, 1,700 for 535 members of Congress. That's why you pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. The railroads made record-breaking profits. And not only do we have a whole lot of derailments in this country right now, but in addition to that, despite their record-breaking profits, they could not afford to provide rail workers with one paid sick day. Can you imagine that? These guys do dangerous work in all kinds of weather, and the rail industry couldn't give them 1 day. Now, we've had some success. One of the companies is now giving them 4 days. We hope the other companies will do the same. But all of this speaks to the incredible level of corporate greed that you see all over the place. Insurance companies make huge amounts of money. 85 million of people in this country cannot afford health care, despite the fact we're spending twice as much for health care as almost any other country. So the issue is corporate greed. The issue is oligarchy.
And we're back on the McMahon Morning Show. Listen, Bernie Sanders said it. He tried to tell everybody, he's trying to hip everybody that listen here, this greed, this thing, all of the things that are going on behind the scenes is because one, they take us for granted. Two, they take us for granted. And three, they take us for granted. I've been a Democrat voter most of my life. I think I voted for 2 or 3 Republicans when I came to this region. I like them because what they stood for. I like what they stood for. I like what how they are. I didn't lump them in and say, well, you like all Democrats. I voted for the person that I felt that was going to serve the interests and the needs of the community. Besides all of that, and besides saying that, we all have done it. My thing is this: from this day forward, should we give our vote to the Democratic Party that have hustled, pimped, and done all these things to us? Here we are, we looking strange. People are mourning. People are dragging. People think that there's nothing to look forward to. I said what I said. I want to know from you, sister, because your sister is affecting more sisters than anything, because it was black women that voted. The majority were black women that voted for this sister. Help me out. I said what I said. All I'm saying is I'm tired of giving my vote to people that don't like my interests, that don't petition on my interests. The things that I want done, they're not going to do. Help me out, sister. What's going on in this society?
Well, James, I think everybody is asleep, but everybody's getting ready to wake up, especially our people. And the people that's mourning right now are the actual people that care about America, that care about our rights and care about how we live in this America. And the rest of us are just asleep. So the ones that are woke gonna have to get up and roll their sleeves up. And like you said, we're gonna have to do something about this. We can't just continue to march and continue to complain and do nothing. We're gonna we can show them better than we can tell them. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Obama was in office, and in 2012, that's when the Freedom Caucus came into play. They were called originally they were called the Tea Party. And I know everybody heard about the Tea Party because the news was interviewing them. They got a lot of media attention. They got the politicians' attention, and they got in office. And now they're a part of the Republican Party. Yes, they're still Republican, but they have their little subgroup in the Republican Party. And anytime the Republican Party vote on something, they got to talk to the Freedom Caucus, because they have a say. They have a plate at the table, if I could say that way. And so that's what we're going to have to do. We're not going to just lay down and take this and cry about it and be upset about it and, have all this anxiety. We need to put all of that and focus into something of a community that we want to have. And we need to sit somebody at the table. That's what I have to say about that. And Bernie Sanders has been crying. He's been saying this same thing forever. Bernie Sanders didn't just start talking like this. He started talking like this when he came to office, and I think he sat back for a while, and I think he got tired, and then he just started speaking his opinion. When he ran against Hillary Clinton in 2016 for the primary, I was totally conflicted, because, like you said, I was a loyal Democrat, but I like what Bernie Sanders said. And so Bernie Sanders have been an advocate for the people to be in, and that's why he went independent. That's why he's an independent. But he's been for the people, and he's even been trying to get us minimum wage. To me, he's the only politician in Washington that halfway is looking out for our interests. And it may not even be our interest. It may be just the working white class interest. So I don't really know. But I do know this. I do know we need to come together, and I know we need to do something instead of moping and crying.
Brother Lee, give us your final thought.
Well, I like to say I agree with a lot of sisters said, just mentioned. The thing is here is that, yeah, Brother Bernie Sanders, and I call him Brother Bernie Sanders. The thing is that what he's saying is very relevant, and what we need to do, yes, you gotta lick your wounds for a minute, and I think we've done with that, and we gotta look forward and stop looking backward. Yeah, we got knocked out. You can't keep talking about where the punch came from. You're gonna have to figure out how to block that punch. You know, we're talking about, yeah, it was the uppercut. Didn't see it coming. Now you're gonna have to recognize when you see it and block it. And that's the thing. And we're gonna have to do this together. And yes, it's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn for a minute. Now it's okay to get back up. And that's what I need. That's what I had to say.
We want to thank all of you for being here with us on today, our chat. We want to thank all of those that have sat in the bushes. We know that you're there. We want to thank those of you that came to our chat to discuss the things that are on your heart. But listen to me. We are yet to begun. We're going to talk again on Monday morning about the way forward. There is a way forward, folks. There's a way forward, and we're going to take that road. We're in a better position than we ever have been if we use our smarts right. Our vote matters. They want our vote. If you want our vote, vote our interest. This is the McMahon Morning Show. I'd like to say on behalf of our executive producer, Dr. J, our chief contributor, Lee, and our chief correspondent, I said what I said. I'm McMahon, James Mack, your man on the street, ready to do the things that we have to do to bring our community into the place that we need to be. We got a responsibility, and let's get about it. This is the McMahon Morning Show, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I'll see you on Monday. I'll be right. I'll be fine. I'm going to be over this cold, too. We'll see you on Monday. This is the McMahon Morning Show.
It's a McMahon Morning Show. It's a McMahon Morning Show. It's a McMahon Morning Show. It's a McMahon Morning Show. Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's a McMahon Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's a McMahon Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's a McMahon Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's a McMahon Morning Show. 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 It's a